Hey, welcome to week 45, the free of the week. Pat here, and
Matt is here.
yes, you are with the satellite delay. Well, let's start off here. First off, we have Karthus. Do you want to cover Karthus?
Sure. Karthus is a great champion. He can play. Mostly people will take him mid. He is a fantastic powerhouse mid. He's got a fantastic wall on him that acts as. I think they removed the slow effect on it. They removed something off of it recently, like a couple weeks ago. It was either the no, it was the armor reduction on it. I think it still does magic resist.
No, but it still
I'll
shreds
take my word
MR,
for it.
right?
Either way, yeah, it still totally shreds magic resist. I think that's its primary purpose, and it adds massive damage to the rest of him. Used more as CC. He's got a massive area of effect power on him. Does hell of a lot of damage, and his Q is just this infinite. Like it's got like a 1 second cooldown Q, maybe two. It's really short. Got a short range, and it has a slightly delayed bomb that he places on the ground that does significantly more damage if it only hits one target instead of multiple targets, which is fantastic free harass for him. He can definitely hold his own mid, and I guess the main thing about him that people hate the most is his ultimate, which lets him basically do massive magic damage to the entire enemy team, regardless of where he is and where they are. So long as they don't interrupt him before he's done, which if he's dead, they can't, because he can stay alive longer after he's dead. It's a great ultimate. And he can also go jungle.
Yeah, he can juggle, but if you're jungling, you better wear the Statue of Liberty outfit. Also, I guess for anyone that's playing Karthus, if you see the letter R in your chat, just match your ultimate. Someone is about to kill somebody and they need the killing blow. That's probably the best advice I can
Yeah, he
give.
can be Yeah, he could be pretty good as long as thinking about him as team communication. Keep
Yeah.
your eye on enemy champion health to know when you can score that kill when they get away. And also, don't be afraid to use it to initiate a team fight too. The entire enemy team starting off at a deficit is a big boon to you.
Yeah, that can be a huge thing. Alrighty, well, that's Karthus. You'll see him in the mid, maybe the jungle. Next up, we have Kale, one of my old favorites, who now currently lives up top.
Yeah, that seems to be where she is these days. Here's the thing, she's just a great counter to the standard bruiser top these days. And she murders Darius, which makes me happy. Anything that murders the fuck out of that guy, I'm happy with.
Yeah, she's got a great kit. She has a slow that does damage. She has a heal that speeds up allies. She can extend the range of her auto attack and make it do splash damage. And her ultimate makes someone invincible for a period of time. Thinking about it, actually, one of the most dangerous things I've ever seen is if you mash Kale and Karthus together. If you do that Kale ult on Karthus, where all of everyone's like major attacks are wasted on him, and then he lives a little bit longer, then he dies and uses his ult, Karthus can be a killing machine thanks to Kale. Well, he already is, but even more so.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. So yeah,
And I guess
Kale's a monster.
while we're talking about powerful toppers, we got Malphite in there, who's also a fantastic jungler. I think it might be an even split at where you see him. He might be leaning towards the jungle these days.
Yeah, but
Um,
he still
but
could do
those are,
top.
yeah, those are his two lanes. He's definitely great in either of those. He's a nasty champion. He was definitely flavor of the month for the past what 2 3 months now. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know
ever
whether he's
since
starting to fall off.
X Hazard's short time with CLG and his play at
Yeah.
MLG, like he made Malphite like this thing where everyone's like, oh crap, Malphite, we got to play Malphite. Actually, it's kind of a similar kit to Kale, where he has a damaging long range attack that slows. He can do splash damage, but he basically his ultimate is free headbutt pulverize. Like it just works. He runs into the enemy team, and knocks
Yeah,
everybody up in the air.
it's a hell of a CC. Great to make him an initiator. One of the reasons that he's so great in top is he has that thing they're looking for so much up there, the sustainability. His passive just basically lets him take a free hit every now and then, maybe even a couple free hits depending on what's attacking him before he takes any real damage.
Yeah, if you've never fought a Malphite before, this is one of those ones you got to look at the model. Uh, when he looks normal, that means he has bonus health that's going to help him against any trade. If he looks all cracked up, that's when you want to start beating on the Malphite.
One more thing you might want to take into consideration if you're not used to Malphite is his seismic shard, his ranged target move that will hit you and slow you. Actually, is a speed transfer. He will gain the amount of movement speed that he takes from you in that, which makes it a hell of a gap closer and easy for him to harass with.
Wow, okay, well, you know what? Someone in particular, let's do some more awesome segues. Someone he would love to speed steal from is the Dunk Master himself, Master Yi. I hate this guy. You may talk about him because I hate him.
I don't really feel much better about him. He is the dunk master. Master Yi is a hell of a top carry. He can also top carry, mind you, too, not top bruiser. He is insane when he gets down there. He's also a good jungler. Pretty sure he might be primarily jungle these days, due to the new meta for the top changing a bit. He is. I mean, I don't know what to say about him.
He's also a
just
jerk in mid.
Beastly melee character. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess people do take him mid now, don't they?
AP Wu in the mid can be, or AP Wu Ju in the mid can be a
Yep.
murderous
AP Wu's
thing.
pretty scary. That Alpha Strike's a hell of a lot of damage, and AP Wu's Meditate basically makes him immortal and gives him a second life. It's a scary move out of his normal repertoire when he gets enough AP for it.
Yeah, I think we've both
He
seen
is
situations where
definitely
he's
probably one of
stood
the
there healing while an enemy team wails on him. Like, he becomes a de facto standing tank for a little bit.
Yeah. Yi is probably most infamous for being one of the best split lane pushers in this game. He's got massive speed boosts. His ultimate can make him immune to movement impairment spells, so he can't not be locked down or stopped with those. He can still be stunned, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can still hit him. Like, I think Veigar's wall will still stop him. I'm pretty sure I've seen that work. But he is a scary split pusher because when he activates his ultimate and he's got a speed boost item like the Yumu's Ghost Blade, he can just murder a tower and then he can run out without being in any danger of getting caught.
No one catches the
So
Dunk
it makes him
Master.
Yeah, when it gets to late game, he can pretty much shred your towers while his entire team is elsewhere.
Yeah,
Very scary like that.
he's a jerk. Next up on the jerk list. Yep.
One other thing I want to mention about Yi is that about Yi is his ultimate. It refreshes if he kills someone with it. So long as he's killing, he can keep his ultimate going in a team fight.
Yeah, he's a jerk, and that only proves it more so. Next up on the jerk list is Sion. He has a snare, he has a shield that does damage once it pops, and I think his ultimate heals him or gives him tons of lifesteal. Like, he's also another hard-to-kill jerk face,
Yeah,
right?
it's a massive amount of lifesteal on his ultimate. Yeah, basically once he gets to level 6, especially, I think most people take him mid these days, he can stun you, walk up to you, and no matter what kind of damage you're outputting, if you can't stop him from, axing your face off, he's going to get most of that health, if not all of it, back.
He's a terrible person. At least his character model looks god-awful, and I can't imagine anybody would want to play such an ugly-looking character.
I think they're talking about updating it, actually.
Well, now the Soraka's finally out. Who knows? Maybe Sion will have his day in the sun.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next up, a CLBL favorite, Teemo. He can be played up top.
CLBL, nothing.
Uh,
He's a league favorite.
Yeah, everyone loves Teemo. Even people that don't play League. I've seen people wear Teemo hats. He can be bottom AD, and he can be top. His basic things, he has a blind ability. He's still one of the heroes that has that, so he can win trades out of that if he hits first. He has a natural speed boost, so he's impossible to catch. He does poison damage if you level up his E. And his ultimate, I think the thing he's mostly known for, is he can just plant shrooms. Like, the big advice I would have for anyone fighting against a Teemo is that if he, is running away in a certain path, you're probably running into a shroom. If you're going into your jungle, you're going to hit a shroom. Never have low life.
Yeah, if the enemy team has a Teemo with them, and they have a decent amount of control, you don't have good vision of the jungle, odds are you're going to be really scary to walk in any shrubs or past any choke points in the bush in the jungle, because Teemo is very good at putting those right there to nab you whenever you're running away.
And we've also seen the most amazing thing in the world thanks to Civ HD with Teemo. Snort the mushrooms.
Yeah. And the last thing I mentioned about Teemo is always be careful if you're going to play him, because he has an unnamed power. Isn't one of his name 4? It's if he has a global taunt. It just makes everyone immediately want to attack him. It just works.
Yeah, everyone wants to kill Teemo on site. Oh yeah, and if he stands still, he turns invisible, but that never works out well for you because you only really want to pop it when people are nearby, and yada da da da. I've never found it to be that helpful. Who is it making me think of? Who else has a stealth? Oh, like Twitch. It's like Twitch's, but instead of having it as his Q, it's his passive, so it doesn't pan out that well. Next up, we have a killer, a beast, a monster. You'll find him top lane. You will see him for a few seconds as he runs out of the jungle and guts you. It's Xin Zhao. Ever since his rework, I've been terrified of Xin Zhao. He's a jerk. What do you think of Xin Zhao?
I have nothing more to add to that comment.
I mean, he's got really high life steal. He can knock people up in the air, and his ultimate allows him to basically split a vulnerable target from the team. Like I was playing a support Alistar game, and I was pulverizing anyone who got near our AD carry. Xin Zhao ran in, knocked me halfway across the planet, and murdered our AD carry by the time I was able to walk back. Like, he is a jerk. He's really great. They did a good job on him.
Yeah.
I fear him.
Speaking of people to fear, Galio's coming up next.
Yeah, watch out for that ult. You want to cover the Galio points?
Yeah, sure. Galio, I don't. Does he jungle nowadays at all?
I
I'm a little unfamiliar.
I
I
haven't
seen
seen
him in a while.
him. I mainly see him when I do see him is mid is like the last era.
Yeah,
Like you don't even though he's
pretty sure
listed as
that's
support, I don't see him as support. I mainly see him as mid.
that's still basically his role. Even mid, he's still basically becoming a support for the team. Minus the lack of money and wards. Um, he's a very scary. Basically, he's almost down to the limit an AP counter. That's why he goes mid so often. Is that he has the one awesome passive on him that basically means that he converts a total of his magic resistance into ability power. So as he builds to resist, he gets stronger in his spells, and the spells aren't anything to laugh at. They can do a decent amount of damage to all of them. And the scariest thing all is he's got one of the greatest initiations in the game on par with Amumu's entire enemy team lockdown with his Idol of Duran. Well, he basically will teleport into the middle of a team, and then actually, is it even a teleport or is
It
it just
doesn't
a
teleport. He just turns
no?
into a golem.
Yeah, yeah. He just turns into a golem and sucks everyone around to him. Just it's like a global. Yeah, basically a big area effect taunt that locks him onto him and makes him ridiculously tough at the same time,
Yeah,
while
and then
doing a ton of damage.
he does ton of damage based on how much damage is dealt to him. So it's very dangerous, and also his W, which does damage in a line, or is that his? I think that's his E actually, because his W is probably that shield that heals based on the damage that's given. He basically has a gust of wind ability that speeds up movement speed of allies, so he can initiate with that and then immediately pop that idol. Yeah, he's scary. He's scary if you don't know what you're doing. Up next is another, I guess, kind of scary. He was like the king of the world for a little bit. Now Ezreal's kind of the king of the world. Urgot, the fat, ugly anti-AD carry, who's all based around landing his grenade and then shooting tons and tons of spikes forever and all time.
Yeah, Urgot's definitely fallen out of flavor recently. They played with him a bunch and they kind of put him to the wayside. Not a lot of people are still picking Urgot, but he can be fun. I am terrible with him and absolutely hate playing as him as far as any AD carry goes, but he's definitely still got some good on him. I'm not even sure how to build him really. I just I don't like touching Urgot.
Yeah,
Makes me feel dirty.
and he also has that great ability where his ultimate is he switches places with an enemy, and just since it is a free of the week, uh, I've mainly got myself killed using that ability. But if you use it smart, I mean, you could force someone underneath your tower. You could force them into your team. You could stop somebody from running
Yeah,
away. You get some damage bonuses. But yeah, I mean,
yeah. It's
I don't like him.
it's great because it basically completely counters enemy position no matter how hard they try to get into a good position. Urgot can completely disrupt that and then murder them. The thing that he used to be well known for, yeah, is like when he landed that grenade, is he'd have massive range on his Q after hitting with that. Um, so basically, the main thing is to avoid his little Noxian corrosive charge grenade when he throws it out there.
Yeah, at all costs. Like I've never gotten it to work, but I can't tell you the amount of times I've been running away, screaming and crying as blades rain from the sky. You know what?
Yeah,
We'll finish up with Urgot because that's a perfect segue. Speaking of blades, we have Aurelia. She is only top lane, but she is a very dangerous top lane. She's got a solid lifesteal. She can do true damage, and her ultimate is that she can shoot blades in a line and does tons of lifesteal. So she's got great sustain. She has a stun, I think. Yeah, she has a stun.
she has a stun on one of her powers. I forget which one it is, but basically it is a on hit power that when she uses it, if she has less HP than the enemy she's attacking, she pulls off a stun,
Oh yeah, and if she
which
has
makes her
more HP,
very
it's a slow,
dangerous.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we
Yep.
go. And then she has a dash, or Q is a dash. If it kills the enemy, it refreshes, so you can see her like dash, dash, dash. Yeah, she can be dangerous. She actually has pretty decent wave clear thanks to the dash ability.
Yeah. All of these together make her probably one of, if not the most popular top lane characters these days.
She is hard to kill. and that is something that I wasn't whenever I experimented with Aurelia. But yeah, if you see a good Aurelia, she's going to be one of those ones where like it's kind of like the Mundo effect, where she shouldn't be the one you're targeting, but she's going to be the one that you're going to try and target even though she does die. It's a very scary person to
Mhm.
fight. All right, so that's our free of the week. This looks like an okay week. I own most of the people that I like that are on this list that I would try. Is there anybody that you don't own on this list that you would want to try this week?
That I do not own. Maybe Zin.
Get some
Maybe Zin.
Zinzaoin. Understand the enemy.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I guess with that logic, I'd go for Urgot, but I'm done with Urgot.
Yeah, it's a wasted game in our world. I mean, not to say bad things about him, but we don't like him. All right, so let's move on to the sale real quick. So the champions that are on sale. So if you want to keep them, oh no, super discounted champion this week. We have Katarina, Kog'Maw, and Graves. Two 80 carries because I don't know if AP Kog'Maw is still a thing, so they nerfed that. But two solid ADs and Katarina, who is now a very dangerous jungle. Any of those you'd be willing to buy? I already own Graves.
I already own Graves too. Maybe Kog'Maw.
Yeah,
He's definitely pretty. I like artillery, and he's definitely a heavy piece of artillery.
and he scales really well because his ability does based off of max health, so he can be cool. I like Varus. And for the costumes, is there any costume that kind of grabs you? We have yet again no deep discount this week. That's kind of sad. I wonder if it's been like that the last couple of weeks since we took a sabbatical. But right now we have
Yeah.
basically brown Sejuani is one of the skins. Uh, oh, I like that Nunu skin. That Nunu skin looks pretty cool. Nunu in armor.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And
It's not my favorite new skin.
I like this Nautilus skin a great deal.
The steampunkish of it.
Yeah, he looks cool. Though, as much as I don't want to play Dishonored, it looks like he looks like somebody out of Dishonored at this point.
A little bit.
Well, there we go. Well, that's the free week. Seems like a pretty okay week. Nothing like a lot of older champions early on in the seasons, but we'll see how this goes. So have fun, Legan. Talk to you later, Matt.